And good morning and welcome to Touch Base Day. My name is Ron Foster and I'm touching base with you as I always do. Today I'm with my partner in crime for our
Pew,
Focus
pew, 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 pew.
Friday, Chris
Good
Edwards.
morning. Good morning, everybody. How you doing?
So I was just telling Chris that apartment is on the market.
Yes, it
So
is.
I sent my close friends and family the posting, and
Looks
so they
so
got to
good.
see the actual photos and how they really did a good job. And I
Man,
mean, I have
amazing.
to I have to tell you, I am very proud of myself because I had to pat myself on the back because I was able to get rid of more 50% of the items that were in this apartment.
It looks like more
And
than that.
yeah,
Listen, I have to give you kudos too because I was there a couple weeks before you started the transformation, and
yes.
I'm astounded the amount
Yeah.
of work you did in that short period of time. It's
Yeah.
amazing. It really is transformative because I mean, you love color and you had lots of color in the place, and you've been there for a long time, so you had a lot of stuff. But
Lot of
it looks
stuff.
amazing, amazing. I mean, everything looks so bright and inviting. I mean, and like even like I'll take the bathrooms as a perfect example. Bathrooms can tend to be a little bit on the darker side, especially when they're on a smaller side. That bathroom looks huge now.
Yeah, well, the white makes all the difference. The white
Yeah,
paint. They say if you want to change the character of a home, fresh white paint will do it every time.
yeah.
And it also paid off that I do home staging as an interior
Yeah,
designer.
and the staging looks really good. Like you've got nice pops of color here and there. Yeah, it looks
Yeah.
really, really good. Kudos
So
to you, my friends.
I had to pull out all my skills
Oh, they,
to
they were
make it
on full display.
on full display. And then the photographer was really good. I love watching. I think I may have mentioned this before, but I love watching how the broker who really knows what he's doing when it comes to these apartments, because he's sold so many of these apartments in this complex. This is a huge complex. It's
Yeah.
one of the largest co-op complexes in the country.
How many buildings is?
And
How many buildings?
we have we have 6 buildings on what's called the North Campus, which is where I am, the North Campus. And there are 6 buildings in the South Campus. So we have
Okay,
12
that's a lot.
buildings, and most of them are average 12 to 15 stories high, and
That's a lot of square footage.
8 apartments on each floor. So
That's a lot.
that's
That's
a
a lot.
lot of real estate.
Yeah.
And so I'm excited. Part of me is like, oh my God, I can't believe this is real. And then so I send it out to my friends. One of my buddies, who I did safari with, she says, Ron, how's it coming? Because she had to do the same thing 2 years ago, or maybe 3 years ago now. She had a huge home in Delaware. I mean, huge. When I talk about mansion, huge, a beautiful deck, good backyard, huge rooms. Like I could fit this whole part of my apartment in her bedroom. I mean, this
Wow.
is how big her house was. And they had to she and her husband got a divorce. And so they separated and they had to sell the house. And it was a lot of work. And so when I'm telling her what I'm going through, she identifies. She's like, Ron, I know. And I said, I can't imagine what it would be to pare down a house that has, like, I think she had about 8 rooms,
Damn.
8 rooms, maybe 4 bathrooms, backyard, front yard, grounds,
It's a lot.
deck, garage, huge garage. They had to pare down, and now she lives in a beautiful cottage in Delaware. They had 2 homes, so now
Is
she's in
this
the
the one that lives
cottage.
downstate in Delaware?
Yeah,
You came to visit?
you met
Okay.
Vivian.
Okay. Okay.
And so she's been monitoring me, make sure I'm okay. He said,
And
I go,
let's do it.
okay.
One person to have to do it, that's a lot.
I'm only one man, one
Yeah.
person. I've been doing it, and I have to tell you, I am tired. I'm so glad that this chapter is getting closer to being over. I was talking to my neighbors in the courtyard yesterday. I was just hanging out because it was so cool yesterday.
It
The
was
weather in
so
New York
nice.
is so nice. I was just like, I had a luncheon after I left you guys. I went to what's this place called? Uh, uh, Carmine's. I think it's Carmine's. Yeah, Carmine's, and the Italian restaurant in Upper Manhattan. It was Carmine's. It was so good. The food was great, and then they were so nice. And I was talking to them about what I'm getting ready to do. Because we all are a part of a working network group that support one another in our
Hmm.
businesses. So we had a lunch get together, and one of my colleagues is one of my inspirations. He's a psychologist, and he took his show on the road to say, and he's been living. He's got a uh, um, a Jeep, and he
Hmm.
just roams around the country, and roams to other countries. When he's not taking his Jeep, he's in other countries, and he's just doing his business cyber online, and then he's also now embracing photography. So he's now taking on a whole nother aspect of his life that he always loved photography, but now he's actually learning how to do it. And so
Nice.
I'm so proud of him. And I said to him last night, I mean, yesterday at luncheon, I said, well, man, I said, Marcos, I'm almost there. I said, I'm following behind your footsteps. And I said, we'll have to meet up in different parts of the world and kind of like work together. And I will do photography. I'll help you out with photography, and we'll just take our show on the road, and you can do some psychology conversations. And I say, look, the world is not the same as our grandparents had or our
It's
parents.
not. It's very much smaller.
When my parents were 61 years old, they were not thinking like this. And
Not at
when my
all.
grandparents were 61 years old, they definitely weren't thinking on these terms. So thank you to technology that makes it possible for us to do what we want to do, and we're not limited, and you're not limited by your age. I was sharing with Marcos yesterday. I said we are the examples of, and I plan to use this platform, Touch Base Daily, also in this direction. That you, just because you're 40 years old, 50 years old, 60 years old, even 70 years old, is not the end.
Yeah.
A lot of people say a lot. I'm surprised how many people, when they turn 40, begin to just like, they're just like, I'm just
So
living my life and going from place to place. I got to take care of the kids. I got to get them through college. And then after they get the kids through college, then they are married, and then they get divorced because they never knew what it was to live with that husband and wife, because they were focused on the kids, and now they don't know each other, and yada yada yada. And then they just go into this stupor of I don't want to call it stupid. Maybe it's a lull in their lives where they just don't see themselves as doing anything new and exciting.
you are speaking my language. It's funny because that was my whole reason for getting into social media and doing a lot of the things I was doing and working with the people and the organizations I was working with. Um, I'm a big believer in 40s when you're just getting started, and a lot of
It's
the
just
businesses and
yes.
companies out there weren't marketing towards people of our age and above. And I've worked with quite a few organizations um, since around 2018 that really highlight people of a certain age, people of a certain color, um, and promoting them and allowing them to build businesses and sell products. Because to be honest with you, 20-year-olds aren't the ones buying. They don't have the buying power. They're not buying the products. They're not buying the lifestyles. It's people over in 40 and above because they built up some finances over the 20 something years of working in industry, and now they want to enjoy their life a little bit. They don't want to wait till they're 70 until they retire before they start traveling. I'm so glad that I started traveling, in my early 40s. That's when I really started just kind of like living and, going around the world and seeing different things and just being exposed to everything. So
Yes.
I'm a true believer in age is nothing but a number, and you are only limited by your own self. Go out there and live life. Life is to be lived, and there's so much to live because we're living longer now because we know better and we can take better care of ourselves. So,
Yes.
for everyone in the
Yes.
audience, go out and live, go travel, go do something.
Live. The world is, and again, like I said, I was sharing with one of my friends who's part of this community. And I was like, yes, you have children. Yes. Okay. I get it. You have children. But when your children are 25 and older, it's time for them to start fitting for themselves. I'm just sorry. You should not be interrupting your life. Yes, I know it's easy to say, easier said than done. But you have to, like eagles do, kick them out the nest, let them fly. And if they can't fly, and as they fall, they will eventually get those wings out into the open and realize I got to flap these wings and
Yeah.
fly. Because
And
what happens is you will stagnate your life and your lifeline of life by trying to be the caretaker of everyone. One of my
yeah,
friends, he is the caretaker of everyone. He takes care of his brother. He takes care of his kids. He takes care of the grandkids. I was like, when do you take time for you? You're not getting younger. And technically speaking, we're really at our peak. I know we say when you're in your 50s, like that 45, 55, you are at your health. Like, I mean, if you took care of yourself and do all that stuff, you are like at peak of like you could do almost anything and
you
recover.
you feel like you can do everything.
Right. But when you get to 60, it takes time to recover, but you still can do it.
Even
Right?
in your 50s, it takes a little bit of time. I've noticed for myself personally, like especially since we just moved here, and you're moving a lot of stuff and you're putting stuff up. I've got a lot of
You
little
feel it.
cuts and stuff like that, and I'm realizing it takes a lot longer for a cut to even heal. Like before, it take 2-3 days. Now it's like, all right, I've had this cut for like a week now. I mean, it's healing, but it takes a little bit longer. As we get older, our bodies don't rejuvenate itself the way it used to. And it's not as though
Yes.
you're not taking care of yourself. It's just a natural aging process.
Natural aging process. So we have a Focus Friday special on a couple of on this topic. I'm so glad we're talking about it. I found these amazing Instagram accounts that I think is going to really inspire you and make you smile. They are so cool. So we'll
Well,
do
let's get
that in a little
started.
bit. But let's say good morning to some folks because we just came out the box. I was so excited about this apartment. So, as I'm saying about the apartment, we already have people interested in the apartment. And so the open house is going to be, my broker said this is a great sign because they put it on the market yesterday and people are already responding and making appointments to come in on Sunday. So
That's
I'm
awesome.
happy. I'm
That's
happy.
awesome.
When this chapter is gone, I'll be just traveling and
You know what though? I will say this: when the offers are made, and then you finally do go for closing, and it's done, you're gonna have a big boohoo. I really
oh
believe
yes,
because
I
the
will.
process is going to be over, and it's gonna be
Grieving.
overwhelming in a good way though. It's like this chapter now is officially closed, and now it's time for the rest of my life, and that can be a little. I mean, you've kind of got it mapped out in your head, but it's still very scary because even though you've done some of these things already, it's the unknown now.
It's the
When
unknown.
when you travel, you were coming back home to somewhere. Now, when you travel, you're just traveling to somewhere else after that.
Yeah.
There is no, I mean, you'll have a home base in Jersey with Adrian, but it's different when it's not yours anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I
you'll be
said
fine.
I'm gonna need you and Ron to come up and like I'll be like Chris, Ron.
You'll be fine. No, you'll be
But
fine.
I
I'm
am coming to
excited for
visit
you.
you guys. So I'll be coming to visit you all. I said to Vivian, I said I will make my Delaware appearance. So I'll be visiting Chris and Ron. I'll be visiting my friend Vivian and her significant other. And I'll be visiting all my friends in Delaware. I'll visit my friends in Pennsylvania. I am blessed because I have so many wonderful people in my life. Wonderful people that I can crash, hang out with them. That's why I tell folks it is important that you leave a great impact on your friends' lives and the world. Don't, be nice to everyone, care about everyone, make everyone feel special.
Yeah.
That's so important.
All
Okay, here we
right.
go. Hannah's the first person in the box. She
As
says, "Good
always.
morning, Ron and Chris and Touch Base Daily family." And we are so excited to see our wonderful Hannah. Chris, you want to take the rest of them?
So next in the room, I believe we have Brian. He says, "Happy Friday, everybody." And then, of course, rounding up third, it's Mimi. Good morning, Ron, Chris, and RLP family.
And then we got the wonderful Bryson, which I have my drink. So when Bryson speaks,
Sip, sip, sip. Chug a
you
lug.
got to sip before you say Brian's statement. What's up, Ron? What's up, Chris? What's up, RLP family? What's up, everybody? Happy F1 Friday, and we'll just focus. And Megan 2.0 Friday. There's a new Megan coming out.
No, it drops today. And then the F1 is Apple's big blockbuster release in theaters today, starring
Really?
Brad Pitt. Yeah, he's the lead on this. It's F1 racing.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yes. With Brad Pitt and then what's his name from that wonderful show that was a drug show.
Yeah.
Yes. What's his name?
Yeah.
He's one of my favorite actors.
I don't remember his
also
name.
a D. He's from he's from England, but his natural roots is from Nigeria. And it says, and new music Fridays. Welcome to the weekend. New music. What new music?
I don't know who's coming. Who's out today?
Any new music? Any new music? And Mimi says, I still need the ball caps, Ron. Did you get rid of them? I still have some of those ball caps. So you got to figure out how to get here.
Hold on. So before we go any further, talking about new music, so we didn't talk about it yesterday, but last week Saturday, Ron and I had the privilege to get tickets to go see Cynthia Erivo and the Philadelphia Orchestra in concert at the Mann Center out in West Philadelphia. Let me tell you something. What an amazing gift she is to the world. Like, she is just effortless. Like, when people say their voice is angelic and it's just like an angel came down and just touched them, this woman, it's like she can sing anything. She could sing the alphabet, the Bible, I mean, anything. And she just sounds amazing. And she just seems so effortless. And like those big tunes that she belts out, this little tiny body. It was amazing. It was Saturday evening. Great show. Like I said, it was Philadelphia Orchestra, and then it was accompanied by her, and just amazing. It was like an hour and a half show. Hour and a half. It was an hour and a half show basically. Started at I believe 8 and ran until about 9:45-ish, roughly, almost 10. But great show. What a performer. And there was a woman in the audience that she walked out to the audience and just gave the mic to her.
Really?
This woman belted out an Aretha Franklin song with her. And at first you thought it was staged and she was a plant, but she wasn't. just so good. And I'm so glad Cynthia got the video of the woman because she was live streaming, I guess, and then she put the video up on her page. But she found her. I guess she's tagged Cynthia, and Cynthia reposted. So if you want to go, it's on Cynthia Erivo's Instagram page.
Now, this was since we're speaking of her, I love. She
That
had
was a
an
great.
interview with
Yes, that was
Angie
really good.
Martinez,
So good.
and they were asking about how she felt about relationships, and I want you to listen to it. It's so good,
I
so
love
good.
her.
And I was like, this she's not only a great singer, but she is such a deep thinker. And
Play this, and there's something she said, and I want to repeat.
Things
Okay.
are happening to me at all times because I'm very present in it, and I'm constantly practicing being present.
How do you do that? Tell us the tools.
It is actually for me just a practice. It's just like to notice where I am. Like today, I'm noticing that I'm here sitting with Angie Martinez, who is wearing a pink iridescent sweatsuit, and someone over there is in a red cap and wearing blue, and there's a bin over there that's white, and I can see all of the decor, and I've been looking at these chandeliers.
You do this all the time?
All the time.
Every day?
Every day.
Walking around New York
where I
City
am
today?
Yes. Yeah. And I journal to make sure that I remember. In the remembering, I can then be grateful for the things that have happened during the day, even the things that throw me off my axis. This will teach me something, right?
They say that is a thing too for like if you suffer from anxiety.
Yeah.
I think that's even like a meditation. I read that one time. It's like if you're having some type of panic attack or anxiety attacks, like pick a few things in the room.
Yeah.
Breathe. And notice and then close your eyes and try to remind yourself what's around you in the present moment to calm you down.
Mm-hmm.
That was actually the clip that I thought I wanted to talk about.
What have you learned?
What was the other
one thing that
and people
Angela Simmons, are you telling me right now you're in your single girl era?
And one thing, what have you?
I'm aware of the thing.
Well, I guess it's not, it wasn't. Oh wait, isn't it? Oh here, it's this one.
What have you learned in real life about? We talked about forgiveness, but love, and that everybody should have them. But what has been your biggest lesson about love?
That love in its best form is not transactional and it is not conditional. Someone said if you're in relationship, you are essentially walking each other home. If you find real love, you're walking each other home. Essentially, you are walking with a person throughout each other's life, and hopefully if you're meant to be with each other for as long as you live, you're walking them to where their destination might be. And in doing that, you have to make room for who they are and the changes that they go through and who they become and who they become and who they become and who they become, right? You have to make room for who they change into. And if you're both serving that purpose for the best of that person, you're creating a space to see the best of the person, then that is what love is meant to be.
That's beautiful.
Can I tell you?
Love that. Wasn't that
episode spoke to my heart. Like literally, I was sitting there and I was like on the verge of tears, like some of the things that she was saying, and even like,
make room for the person, make room for the making room, make room for growth, make room for the growth, make room for the growth with the individuals who have a relationship.
Ronald and I sat in the living room and watched it together, and as we're sitting there, as I was sitting there watching it with him, I'm just like looking at him, and I felt like she was speaking to me and how I feel about him. And then the other thing she talked about, and it might seem insignificant to people, but I could really relate to this when Angie had talked to her about the shaving of the head thing and the process that it entailed and why she did it. And I felt the same exact way. I've had a bald head for over 20 years now. And the reason for me wanting to do it was, twofold. But the main reason was I just wanted to kind of let go. I felt as though sometimes like my hair had control over me and how I saw myself and how the world saw me. And I even remember like when I graduated from college, there was a woman that I had worked with in an office in Philly. And I remember she came up to me. She was from another country. So she wasn't politically correct sometimes. And she was like, and this is when I had curly hair. She was like, oh, can I touch your hair? And then I was kind of off put by that, and I didn't really want her to do it. And she reached out and did it anyway. Then she made the comment, oh, it doesn't feel like what I thought it was supposed to feel like. And it irritated me. It really irritated me. But going back to what she was saying, the process of shedding the hair was not for anyone else and not for anyone else's opinion. It was about her, how she saw herself, and how it was freeing for her. And that's how I felt. And like it just hit home. It resonated with me so deeply. It was like she understood. And it's like sometimes you feel as though people don't understand you for the things and decisions that you make. But when you hear someone else talk about it, and it's like, yes, that's exactly the reason. No one else is going to get it, but it's not for everyone to get. It's for you to get, and then for you to feel good about yourself. You know, that whole interview, if you have not seen it, I advise you go and watch it. It's such a great interview. She's such a beautiful person, and she's very insightful. Like she kind of reminds me. She reminds me of Obama in a way in how she talks, where she pauses before she says certain things, and that's very reflectful, and it's very insightful because you're not just talking willy-nilly. You're actually considering the words you're putting out into the world. And not a lot of people do that. People just like talk sometimes just to hear themselves speak. And she's speaking to give meaning.
She speaks with intent.
Yes. And listen, if you have not heard her album, go and listen to it. It's a body of work from start to finish. Like it starts one place and ends at another, and then there's a whole story being told in between. And there's another thing, like, I don't know if people know that she whistles. Like, she's one of those people that can really whistle. And I'm attracted to that because my grandfather used to do that. And it reminds me of him when I hear her do it. She's just
you have some connection. Good. You have a real connection with her.
Yeah, she's really, really good.
It's interesting you said they had her whistle when she was on. It was a great interview when she's with Jimmy Kimmel.
Yes.
And that was another great interval. And she really is. She's again very insightful. Just really, again, I always say cerebral in her and very intentional.
Yeah.
So she knows exactly what she's saying, and when she's saying it, she, like you said, she's really thinking about what she said. Yeah. I see in here, I didn't see the first part what Lisa said, but Mimi says to Lisa, you had about replacing CapCut a few days ago. Have you tried in Shoot? I am sure there are others. Maybe Ron and Chris can chime in on editing tools.
Yeah, there's been a big thing about CapCut. They changed the terms of their use. Basically, anything you create in CapCut, they have license to use without your permission. So people are starting to navigate away from it. Yeah.
Well, I'm all about the edit. Well, now, if you're video editing and photography editing are two different platforms. So now you can edit videos in Lightroom, but I don't know. Chris, I've never used CapCut.
So CapCut's really easy to make because they have lots of templates that you can just use. But here's the thing. They're not the first company to do this. And then I would not be surprised if they backtrack because a lot of these companies, I believe Instagram just tried to do this a couple of years ago. And the backlash was just so overwhelming. They had to roll back and say that we're not going to be using it in that manner anymore. So I would not be surprised if CapCut reverses course and goes back to what their previous terms of use were. Because like my thing is like, why do you need? Granted, there are two forms of CapCut. You can use the free version or you can use the paid version. Especially if you're using the paid version, that should not be in effect. You shouldn't be able to do that because you're paying for the service. Now, if you're using a free service, then of course there is always going to be a trade-off. It's just like Meta or any of these social platforms that you're using. You're using their services for free. They are entitled to use your personal information because they're giving you a service for free. Nothing really is free in life. So, it's a barter system. Even though you might not believe it is.
Well, this is, I'm going to share with you guys. Let me see which one should I share? I think it's going to be this one. So like I said, I have CapCut on my phone. I just never use it. I use it.
I use it.
So.
It's great to have in a when you're in a situation where you need to produce something really fast and you don't, especially if you're away from like your computer. Like I do a lot of stuff in Final Cut. That's my primary video editing tool. But like if I'm out and a client says, "Oh, I need you to put together a reel, whatever, this and that," and I don't have my iPad or whatever, I'll open up CapCut and I'll throw some things together. I won't use the music that they use. I will replace it in whatever platform I'm going to use later on. But it's just a way to get something, and it's interactive, and it gives you like that flashy look that they're looking for in a quick bind.
Okay, I mean, it's on my phone. They recommended when I went to the seminar at TikTok.
Yeah,
I did TikTok workshop, and they recommended that platform. So
CapCut is good.
Focus Friday is when we focus on accounts that inspire, encourage, and inform. And so this is one of these inspirations. I don't know how I went down this rabbit hole, but I did. And I said, why not share it? Because it's where I am today in my life journey. But these people are definitely inspiration to me. And I said, maybe they will be inspiration to you. And before we start, Lisa says, it was good until it wasn't, to make items that you own. My content and monetize on it in perpetuities without my permission is insane. God, my tongue is tied this morning. I was talking to my brother this morning. I was like, I just been talking crazy.
Sometimes
today.
It gets like that.
It's like, anyway. I said I fell asleep on the sofa, so that may have something to do with it. I hate when I fall asleep on the sofa. I am all messed up the next day. And hey, G's in the building. She says, good morning. I'm in Houston driving my Daisy around, which is her mama. And so yeah, let me share this with you guys. I think you might be inspired too. Here we go. And this to me was so cool. Listen up, y'all.
To those of us who look at dressing as art, first of all, we're artists, and art takes time. Okay, so to do this took time. I got this hat many years ago. It's like to put the pieces together takes time. If you're not interested in doing that, in going to flea markets to find the stuff, in going to all the shows and going to stores, if that's not your interest, if you'd rather go sailing, then dressing is not your art form. You have another art form. So just buy whatever you're buying. But those of us who really love it, we can't stop. And we take time with it. It takes time to put it all together to look good. It just does. I mean, no, you can look good with just, dungarees and a t-shirt. Fine, but that's not art.
And what about money?
Money. Money definitely helps. Of course, but vintage is so much cheaper. I mean, this was in the window of some thrift store, and the window was coming out at Saturday at 11 o'clock. You bet you I was there from 8 o'clock in the morning. There wasn't a single soul there until 11. No one came. I was there from 8 because I wanted the ring that was in the window. How much was the ring? $6. Thank you very much. So what are we talking about? Money, yes, money, no. But oh yeah, give me some money. Money helps, always does. But you find what how did I make these? So we're doing yellow, right? So I have 3 pairs of yellow. These are years ago. How did I make this better? Look, I changed the buttons. Did that take money? I probably found the button in a flea market, all 6 of them for what? $10, $5, $2. Just made it better. Money. It's all relative, isn't it? Okay, so those of us who look at dressing as art, first.
How long have all of you known each other?
120 years.
How's it been?
It's been hell. That's why we're here again, trying to work it out.
Yeah. What connects you to each other?
Creativity, fun, admiration,
beautiful work, constantly feeding each other.
Yeah.
So wonderful.
teaching each other.
Yeah. Well, we met in graduate school in about 67, and I'm the New Yorker. She's originally from Wisconsin. She's originally from California. And we all had the same professor, so there was a thread that tied us together as we were learning weaving and textile arts of all sorts.
And why is friendship important to you?
Oh my gosh, what can I say? It's a thing I made, not my parents made, not something that they taught me. It's what I met, and after I went out on my own, I made friends.
Love that.
Well, it just keeps growing. If you put energy into it, it multiplies. So it becomes very profound and very necessary. It really feeds your soul.
I believe friendship is so important to every human being. It's hard to maintain. It takes work. And then the gift keeps coming back to you. And right now, as I get older, I'm finding that my friends are telling me about things that we've done together that I have no memory of, but it's terrific. I am so glad I did all those things.
Do you find friendships to be just as important as family members and spouses and partners?
I think more, because they're ours.
Choice, yeah.
Nothing that anybody else determined. It was all from our hearts.
Choice. You know,
Choice.
so you find who you're attracted to and you just keep that going.
What do you admire most about one another?
Oh,
Their courage.
courage,
Courage and
creativity,
creativity.
openness, color, willingness,
Insanity.
insanity.
It seems like you sort of found soulmates in friendship.
Yes,
Yes.
absolutely.
Well, we carried on.
Well,
for
we
all
were
these
just that
years.
age also, you know, when we were becoming women and
Yeah.
forming our own lives, not determined by anybody else. And we found partners to do that with in living, in work, in fun,
Travel.
travel,
A lot of travel together.
making, a lot of making,
Cooking, eating,
sharing,
health,
performance,
healing.
But bringing people in all the time, not just them,
Yeah.
but always bringing people.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what it was about. To
Fun
build
and
community.
color. Yeah,
Build
community. Yeah, interested in community, no matter
Fiberworks.
where we live.
How long have
Wasn't that
I
special?
love that. But it's so true. It is so true. As they're telling the story, I'm sitting there thinking about
They're all in
this
their
shit makes
80s. They're in
yeah.
their 80s.
I'm looking at, like, I had made some lifelong, like, my best friends right now. I met them when I was in my 20s. This year makes 20 years that we've been friends and, like, diehard. We've been through a lot together. I mean, like, life-changing things together. We've traveled together. We know each other's families, and you know, we're godparents to each other's kids. Like, it, when you really look at it, friendship is probably even more amazing than the family that you're born into. Because, like she said, these are people you choose
You
with
choose
intentionally choose these people with these
to
people.
be your friends.
Yeah.
It's like the
I
people that come
mean,
through here, right?
yeah.
You
I mean, look,
choose
we've
to
been friends
come
for so
here,
long now.
right? And you and I have been friends, and Gwendolyn and I
Yeah.
have been friends, and now Lisa and I are friends, and Bryson and I are
Yeah.
friends. I mean, you
And it takes
choose.
work.
It takes works to build friendships, and
Yeah.
I always had this conversation with someone years ago, and I was like, this person is in my family, but if they weren't in my family, I would never hang out with them. They would never be my friend. I mean, people that
Yes.
you have friends, like
Let's not go
family with,
there.
that doesn't necessarily that you could build great, healthy friendships with family members, but you
Some family
can
members you want nothing to do
build,
with.
but you can build family
Yeah.
with friends.
Yes.
You can't do the other way around. I mean, you
Yeah.
can. It happens sometimes, but when you find friendships, you really are building family. Lisa says, she says, right? I don't even want them in my family, let alone a friend.
That
There's some
part.
people, There's some people in our families, you're like, holy moly, did we all come from the same family tree?
Listen, I think there's always like that one in a family where it's just like, you don't even belong here. Like, how did you get here? We all grew up in the same house and you turned out completely different. Like, this doesn't even make any sense. And we all have that.
Without naming people in my family, but
listen,
there's some people that are just totally like out of it. Like, but anyway, let me let you know the account. I forgot to share the account.
Yeah,
because this account is so special to me.
That was really good. I'm gonna look that one up.
I was on it from 6 o'clock this morning to 8 o'clock. I went through every one of these videos. It is advanced style. And it has 901,000 followers, but it's a gentleman and he interviews all of these seniors, and they are all into the art of living. And his name is Ari Cohen, Ari Seth Cohen.
Yeah.
And all these interviews. I mean, if you are feeling depressed, here's one of those pages, which is an antidote, because they go through so much information and they're just pouring out their lives. They're just pouring out wisdom. I mean, these women, all of these women are just, it just blows me. It blew me away.
Here's the thing too.
I couldn't stop.
People of a certain age that have lived life, they want to tell their stories.
They want to tell their
They
stories.
want to share. And unless you ask them, you'll never know.
But look at this. Look at these people. I mean, let me just get this. Look at them. They're all in their 80s. And they are just living their best lives. I mean, dress for who you are today. Look at this. Look at the color.
You know what? Speaking, so we're on fashion a little bit. Let's just mention that Anna Winters stepped down from Vanity Fair USA. I believe it was yesterday. Yes, and she leaves an amazing legacy. And I look forward to seeing who steps into those shoes, because those are some huge shoes to fill.
You better believe it. No one's like her. She is one for the record books. But look at these women.
So living their best life.
And he also.
So where are you two coming from, looking so beautiful?
Oh, me, I'm coming from Whole Foods.
Whole Foods.
I come from the Upper West Side.
And what was your inspiration behind your looks today?
Oh, mine was just the fact that I woke up and I was here.
This is my Robin Hood hat on top of black straw. I thought it was a fabulous combination. And it goes with my yellow dress and my yellow shoes. And look, my horn purse.
Stunning.
I dress every day. I guess you would call it dressing up. Put on what you have and you go and make the best of it. It's fun.
She's famous. She's extremely modest. She's famous at Sophista-Funk. And she looks spectacular every time you see her.
That's funny.
You both are gorgeous.
And I make rings. So these are what I make, and I love making them.
Love it. Thank you.
You're welcome, sir.
Enjoy your lunch.
I love it.
I love the fact that she's come from Whole Foods just like that.
I can't get enough of them. I just sat there like, oh my God. What inspiration. And it's so many of them. There's Black, there's Asian, Ari really goes out, Ari Cohen goes out to these women. He finds them in the streets of New York and he interviews them. And now he's become, you can see that the arching of his page is not only have he just interviewed them, but now they are personal family, they're friends, they're part of his life. And they keep giving inspiration to people like us who are younger, that aspire to travel the world, to do new things, Chris will always be a dress-up person. Chris will always be looking, savvy. All the hats, Mr. Chris with his hats. I'm
It's funny.
pretty much a regular, rugged kind of guy. I like my jeans. I like looking good, but I like looking good
Yeah.
in workout, work stuff. Like,
Everyone has
if
their
I'm going to
personal
climb a
taste.
mountain.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just was inspired. I literally
That's a great
spent
one.
most of my morning on that page, and I was like,
That's a
"Oh,
good
this
one.
is good to bring to the community." And I thought, why not? I mean, I'm hoping that you guys were inspired by that, and that you matter, and that no matter how old in number or how large the number gets, you are still important. These women, there was one woman he interviews, and she's 93 years old, and I was like, oh my gosh. Then look at, and that's what was interesting. And then they would fall. There was one young lady, I would say, she was like 80, I think she's 85 or something like that, and she's on her bed jumping and said, I still get up on my bed and jump because of the joy of being alive.
But see, that's how you stay alive longer. You have to live.
Yes.
You have to live. You cannot, retire and just like sit at home and not do anything and watch TV. You are, slowly killing yourself doing that.
Yes.
You need to surround yourself by other people that are younger than you. I truly believe that's why my grandmother lived until 94. She surrounded herself with young people. Like whenever they were doing something, she wanted to go. Even when she couldn't walk anymore, she was like, "Nope, I want to go in my wheelchair," and she would go. I mean, my grandmother went to the movies last year. I forget what was it that she went to go see. Oh my gosh, what movie was it? It was a black movie. Oh, it'll come to me, but whatever the case, this woman couldn't walk anymore, basically. But yet, and still, she was out in the movie theaters because she wanted to support. She wanted to be able to support and to go vote in person. She went to the polls and voted because she wanted to vote for Kamala Harris. So, like, you have to surround yourselves with younger people and then stay active.
TB says, what was Ari's name? Here it is. The page is Advanced Style, and it's by Ari Seth Cohen. Ari Seth Cohen. And if you go to Amazon, he has several books. He has lots of books. I'm going to have his books featured on our page as well. I'm just so excited about what he does. I'm going to, because you guys do know I have a Amazon store. All the people that have been on our show, their books are in our store. I just don't talk about it. I probably should talk about it more, right? But if you go to the link in our description, it's always there, the Amazon store, and you click on that link. It's on our page, and you can go right in there. And all of the people that have been guests on our show, their books are in that, and then also any books that I think are really beautiful that should be shared and put in there as well. So check out in the description of any of our descriptions of any of our videos on YouTube, and you will find those Amazon. So I'm gonna put Ari's stuff in there, and I'm hoping one day to meet Ari because he is a photographer. So I would love to have him on. So Ari, if you're listening, I would love to have you on. I'm putting it in the universe.
New obsession.
Is my new obsession, and I have to tell you, it's so therapeutic. It is so relaxing, but it also helps you to remember what's important. Just saying. Friendship.
Zest of life. On full display.
The zest of life. Okay, there's another one I'm going to share with you guys. And if you have a Focus Friday feature, FF, something that you are inspired by, something that you are encouraged by, something that you feel will encourage others, put FF and then @ and wherever, if it's an Instagram page or if it's a YouTube channel, put the link. Okay. Mimi says you need to talk about this more. Really? Oh, okay. I like this. I like that. I love when you guys recommend stuff. Anthony says, good morning. Good morning, Antonio. Mimi says, thank you. You need to talk about this more, Ron. Okay, look, also, obviously, I'm going to just get my list. Look what happened this week. Look at what happened this week. I was so excited. I'm gonna say my page. That's the Don Lemons, folks. That's my little video I put together working at the event. So there you have it. That was really cool to meet Don Lemon in person, spend time with him a little bit. And then he was so crazy, so funny. I just said, you know how you see people on TV, and I was telling him, I said, you know, I've seen you so much that I feel like I know you. Even when I saw his husband Tim come in the building, I said, hey Tim, you know, like as if I knew him forever. And he just simply said hi back.
Well, I mean, you kind of do. They come to your home every day.
They're in the home every day. And so then after Don and I took this selfie, then he said, wait a minute, let's do a video. I was like, okay, let's do it. And we did a video together. So it'll come out somewhere. I said, well, this is really funny. I said, wow. So that was a great this week. But anyway, just wanted to share that part with you. But let's go back. Let's get back to business and to the saves for today.
How long?
Sorry about that. Let me go back. Here we go. So this was another one I had that I was really fascinated by. It's called Shakespeare. It's animation.
I started following this account this week.
Did you?
I posted something from them, I believe, earlier this week in my stories.
I have a question.
Go back.
Why did?
And this is, so you'll know, it's Shakespeare and 63,000 followers. But you go through the page and you see all these different cartoons, animation, I should say, animation. Really good stuff. I am fascinated by the people that can do this. And yeah, look at this. You just go through and it's just so cool. And then also you go back to some of his other work in the past, and then eventually you see the how he evolves. Okay, so check this out. Great is digital creator, Afro Latino, using AI, sorcery, and turning pixels into poetry, code into culture. And then you have the link tree. So check that out. I think you will love this page. Again, make sure if you go here, you cut out some time because it's so worth it. I see here. Lisa says, can we make a summer just started? Perfect time to order my book to build. Oh, she wants to plug. Okay.
Come on, Lisa.
Every week. Come on, boy. Now. So guys, let's go to Hello Healing. Let's go to Hello Healing. It's under Lisa. So I'm just gonna put Lisa in there. Lisa. So there we go. There she goes. Okay. Let's see. Is your book out there? Is your book somewhere on here? Where is your book? Where is your book? So we all know Lisa in our community. And if you don't know, she has an amazing page called Hello Healing. And so check this out. And I believe we can go right to her link tree. There we go. Because that's how we all live. Linktree, let's see,
top one.
And it says retreat information, shop at Hello Healing. So you go straight to there, and there's
Ron, we're not seeing it. We're still only seeing the link. I think
it popped up on the screen.
Right, that's probably why.
That's right. It went out of the box. Hold on a second. Thank you, buddy. Let me change that over and go to her page that way. Share. Here we go. Linktree, Hello Healing. There we go. So yeah, so you just go into there and you got all the links right there. Okay, guys. So check out Lisa's store. And right here. But if I go into this, it'll go out. Yeah, I have to go right into the store. Hold on a second. Let me go into the store now. Okay. I wish it just flowed nicely, you know? Like you can just keep going.
Yeah, so I think every time you click a link, it's going to open up somewhere else.
It
We're not
opens
going
up
to see
somewhere
it.
else. Yeah.
Yeah. Which is fine. I mean, everyone can know to go there to go see it, though.
Yeah. So
those Linktree accounts are so useful.
Yes, yes. Okay, there we are. There's the store. So there you go. That means so there's a whole lot here to get and to purchase. You know, I have my Hello Healing mug, and I've been having this is the mug I've been using forever. And I love it because and there it is. It's there still right there. I love my big ass cup of healing every morning. So that's a good one. This is the reason why I love this, especially for my desk, is because of the way it's built. I should say designed. It won't tip over while I'm at my desk. So I have electronics all around. So it's very hard to tip this cup over. So anyway, thank you, Lisa. Thank you. Nothing wrong with the self-plug.
Not at all. If you don't do it, who else is going to do it for you?
That's right. Self-plug is a good thing, especially when you are in this community and you support this community. So that is what it's all about. TB says, love it. TB, Tuscany. Tuscany Blue says, love it. I'm going to always tease her now. Tuscany Blue is TB. Okay, so let's go back and I'm going to share another one for you guys. Hold on. And Chris, do you have any out there? Or has anyone?
I don't. And no one's put anything in there as of yet.
Okay, so I got more for you. I have more for you. Okay, now.
So just so on time, it's at 12. It's 12 o'clock now.
It's 12 o'clock now. Okay.
Yeah.
Obviously, this is one that has been really good for me, and I really love it. And check out these.
We got to put it on screen.
Folks, but as I'm older now, I keep saying I call people young folks because anyone that's 50 years or younger, they're young folks. So when you become 60, everyone else is young. Okay, this is really good. I love their page, and you'll see why. Here we go.
We'll say amen after prayer.
What does it really mean?
Welcome to ASMR A to Z.
We've slowly been making our way through this very expensive encyclopedia of African religion from A to Z.
And yes, we're still on A.
And today we're talking about Amen.
So if we look at the etymology of the word amen, things get very interesting.
In many Western religions today, Amen is said at the end of a prayer to mean so be it, truly, or let it be so. It's a way of affirming what's been spoken, as if stamping it with truth.
But the story doesn't begin there. The word amen traces back to ancient Egypt, where it was the name of a powerful deity, Amen, also known as Amun, meaning the hidden one. He was seen as the unseen force behind creation.
Amun was one of the principal gods of ancient Egypt, appearing in some of the oldest known texts, the pyramid texts of the 5th dynasty.
The ancient Nile Valley people called him Asharenu, meaning rich in names. He was everywhere and everything, yet concealed.
Some scholars believe this idea of a hidden universal presence is part of the reason why Amen has lasted for thousands of years. So when people say Amen today, they may unknowingly be calling on one of the oldest divine names in human history.
Over time, Amun was paired with the sun god Ra, forming a powerful fusion Amun-Ra, a symbol of invisible potential and radiant energy.
In the Book of the Dead, he's called the eldest of the gods of the Eastern sky.
And in art, Amun is most often shown as a man wearing a tall crown with 2 vertical plumes.
He's also been depicted as a seated king holding a scepter, a man with a head of a frog or a lion, even with an erect phallus, symbols of creation and generative power.
His sacred animals are the ram with its curved horns and the Nile goose, both linked to fertility and vitality.
By the time of the New Kingdom, Amun had become the chief deity of the Egyptian empire.
His influence stretched from temples to tombs.
And into the very words people say at the end of their prayer.
So if you've enjoyed this and want to go deeper, we've turned this info into a downloadable PDF, which is available now on our Patreon.
Join us next time for the next entry of ASMR A to Z.
Because yes, we really are reading the whole book,
page by page, for you.
Why?
So this is, I thought, when I stumbled across this, I was like, wow. And their page is excellent. I mean, so much information. Go through their page. Let me just get this up on the screen closer so you can see.
I think it.
And
I think I know her.
You know her?
I think yeah, well, not personally. I think she had another page where I think this is the same woman. Let me look.
I just
She used to
discovered
do a lot
I
of
just
funny
came across them
memes.
yesterday or 2 days ago, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is so good!" And you know, I love history, so they go and they tackle a lot of history, but it's also she has beauty products and I mean, it's just a really. But look at the books that they go through. They I just like them. I like them. They're cool. I'm not sure if they're a couple, but I know there are a couple on here. Maybe they were couples, but they are really good. Like I said, I just found them 2 days ago. And I was like, wow, I was totally intrigued. So I love their page. And I just love listening to them also. Their voices are just so cool. I love their British accents. But anyway, so they're from London, UK. African mythology, folklore, spirituality, and art. And there's Adwa and Solomon. Creative couple. Oh, okay, there it is. Creative couple. They are a couple. Okay, so there's one for you. There's one for you. Now, I don't know why sometimes on my phone, when I hit follow, it doesn't go to my computer as follow on my desktop. Something's wacky with the Apple on that level. Hey, Kaz, I see you in the building. Kaz says, blessed Friday. I think that's it. What time is it? It's 12:04. Maybe we'll just end it here.
12:04.
Yeah, and since no one has any Focus Fridays to go to, however, there is one more I think I should bring to your attention, and this is because it's informative. It's going to be informative, and this is something you should be aware of. They are building a concentration camp surrounded by alligators to house brown and black people.
Yes.
Florida plans to build for a $450 million immigration prison in the Everglades.
Look at the money they're spending on this foolishness when they can use that money. Ugh.
Florida's Attorney General and Trump ally James Yethmir has said the state won't invest much in security. Why not? Because as the facility is surrounded by alligators and pythons. And I keep saying it over.
The cruelty is the point.
Cruelty is the point. Cruelty is the point. And so just something you need to be aware of. Again, these people are not playing. And Democrats need to wake up because they are not playing. There's a bunch of others here that I will share another time we can do. But guys, they are not playing.
They're not.
Concentration camp and prison. Also,
why are you wasting money on something like that? Like, seriously.
Oh, because to them it's not a waste of money because they're going to end. Those are not going to only be for immigrants.
Oh, we know that. We know that.
People. They're for Americans. Lisa says the Supreme Court again uses its power to rubber stamp the president's agenda over the Constitution, and that is I think it's the 13th Amendment, birthright citizenship. Yes. So now our birthright citizenship is being challenged and Trump has the ability now to continue on with his pursuit. So go read into it. The Supreme Court has a bunch. Today's the last day of their season. So they're throwing down everything. All the rulings are coming out today. So stay tuned. It probably will get worse as the day goes on.
And it's a Friday dump. Don't be surprised if most of these decisions don't come out until like after the markets close.
Yes.
And everyone's going home for the weekend. That's when you're going to get all those major decisions.
It's going to, it's getting nasty out in these streets. But guys, well, you know how I feel. I'm going to always say, get your passports, look for dual citizenship somewhere, because if you may not never have to use it, and that's a beautiful thing, but in case you have to use it, you'll have it. And I was just telling one of my friends the other day, I said, pare down your house. And believe me, I have gone through this process so that I can tell you and share with you the process. I started this process in December. It is June. How much work it takes to pare down your home is months. It doesn't happen in days. It's months. You take areas of your home to go through.
Yeah. A closet at a time.
Yes. If you are planning to leave or need to start paring down, this is the time to start paring down your home, your life, so that way you can package it all up and put it into something smaller and move.
Well, not even that. That's a good rule of thumb is like, if you don't use something or need something within a year or two, get rid of it. More like you're not going to use it again.
You're not going to use it. If you haven't used it in 2 years, you don't need it. If you haven't used it in a year, you don't need it. But get rid of stuff. Get rid of it but definitely passports, dual citizenship. Find it, work on it. I don't care how much, even if you had to skimp on one of your credit card payments or whatever the thing you need to do, you need to start putting money aside to get this done. You never know. I'm happy that I'm seeing some of my peers are doing it. They're like, Ron, you have inspired me to think differently. I am going to start working on my passport. My brother was excited. He just came. He said, he said, bro, I got my passport. He had to renew it. He got his done. So his came in the mail 3 days ago. Now he's working on a project, so he can take his skill set to anywhere in the world. So he's out doing his truck driving, get his truck driver's license. So if he happens to go to another country or another place, he could be a truck driver. That's a profession that is transferable around the world. So guys, start thinking outside the box. Focus Friday. Focus on what matters, because that's what's important. Okay? Yeah. Chris, last word?
Like I said yesterday, go out there, live life, do something. The weekend's upon us. It's summertime. Find something to do. There's concerts, there's free concerts, there's events. Pride is winding down now, so there are Pride events all around the country. Find something to do. Just get out and enjoy life. Meet up with a friend. Have a cocktail. Have lunch. Have brunch. Live life. Don't let life live you.
Oh, lovely. I like that. And the last online word, yes, have to do bit by bit, because it saves time and also can get rid of stuff you do not need or even know you had put away. Yeah. On that note, thank you, Cass. You got the last online word, and Chris, you had the last word. Okay, guys, have a great weekend. I will see you in these streets, these cyber streets. Tomorrow is our Touch Base Daily. RLP Photographers Meetup. We're meeting in Harrow Square tomorrow, so we're doing that at 2:00. Sign up. Go to the Meetup app and sign up if you want to be a part of it. Come join us on Saturday at 2:00, and then you will see me in these streets. It's Pride on Sunday, so I'll be photographing and going live on the move in those streets in the village, and we'll be enjoying the parade together. I'll share some of that footage with you all. Okay, guys, have a great weekend. Enjoy. Love you all. Yes, Bryson. Bryson, Pride Month is coming to a close. It is, my brother. It is. And go out and have some fun. Okay, guys, love you. Have a great weekend. We're out of here. Goodbye. Hello, and thank you for joining us today. Make sure you hit the like, the subscribe, and leave a comment on this video. I would love to hear from you. Thank you again. Until I see you next time,